Taurus, God has been knocking on the door of your soul every day for the past few months, but you've been pretending you're not home. You know that dream you buried so long ago you can almost convince yourself it never existed. That quiet voice inside you that whispers of a different life, a truer one, a life more yours, but which you drown out with excuses about responsibilities and obligations. That voice isn't getting quieter with time. It's getting more desperate. And this is the final warning before the door that's open to you now closes completely. There's a stark difference between the path you're following and the path that was designed for you. And you know it. You can deny it to the world. You can construct perfect arguments about why you are where you are. You can list every logical reason that justifies your choices. But when you lie down at night, in the absolute silence before sleep arrives, you feel it. You feel the weight of living a life that isn't truly yours. You feel the dull ache of having traded your dreams for security. You feel the regret creeping into your chest, reminding you of all the times you chose the comfort of the known over the unknown truth. The warning God is sending you for the last time isn't about an imminent catastrophe. It's not about physical danger or material tragedy. It's about something much more frightening. The real possibility of reaching the end of your life and realizing you wasted your most precious years building someone else's existence, working at something that doesn't move you, maintaining relationships that don't nourish you, living in places that don't resonate with your soul, living under expectations that were never yours. Taurus has this incredible ability to adapt, to put down roots anywhere, to make even what shouldn't work work. You can transform the desert into a garden with your persistence and dedication. But this ability has become your own prison because you've been using your talent for creating beauty and stability to beautify and stabilize a life that isn't the one you were meant to be living. You've been investing your energy in building solid structures on foundations that aren't yours. And God is warning you now because the window for change is closing. Not because He's given up on you, but because time is real. Opportunities have an expiration date, and some doors only open once in a lifetime. The door that's open to you now, the one that would lead you to the life you're truly meant to be living, won't stay open forever. And if you let it close out of fear, out of attachment to the familiar, out of refusal to let go of what's safe but wrong, you'll carry that regret for the rest of your life. The warning comes through specific feelings you've been trying to ignore. That restlessness that wakes you at 3 in the morning and won't let you go back to sleep. That knot in your stomach when you think about the next 5, 10, 20 years of your life if they continue exactly as they are now. That silent envy you feel when you see someone having the courage to do what you'd also like to do. That voice that asks you, is this all there is? Is this how it's going to be forever? These aren't random existential crises. They aren't signs of ingratitude or immaturity. They are spiritual alarms, urgent calls from your soul begging you to wake up before it's too late. Every time you feel this discomfort and choose to ignore it, choose to distract yourself from it, choose to drown it in routine and obligations, you are hitting the snooze button on the divine alarm clock. But alarm clocks eventually stop ringing. Taurus, born between April 20th and April 30th, the warning for you is specific to career and material purpose. You're in jobs that pay the bills but kill your creativity. You're building wealth but losing your passion. God is saying, change your professional direction now, or accept that you'll spend your entire life doing something that leaves you empty inside. For those born between May 1st and 10th, the warning is about relationships and connections. You're in dynamics that seem stable but are emotionally dead. God is asking, free yourself from these bonds now, or prepare for a life of companionship without real intimacy. And for those born between May 11th and 20th, the message is about location and environment. You're in places that don't nourish your soul. God is warning, change your environment now, or wither where you're planted. This last warning means that after this moment, after this clarity being offered to you now, you can no longer claim you didn't know. You can no longer pretend you were confused about what you should do. You can no longer use ignorance as an excuse. God is placing the truth in front of you so clearly that it will be impossible to miss. And from the moment you see it, and yet choose to ignore it, you are no longer a victim of circumstances. You are an accomplice to your own unhappiness. There's a version of your life you visit in your dreams, where you work at what you love, where you're surrounded by people who truly see you, where you live in a place that makes your heart race with joy every time you get home, where you wake up every day with purpose and genuine gratitude. This version isn't fantasy, it's not impossible, it's simply the life you should be living if you had the courage to make the difficult choices necessary to achieve it. But you've chosen the safe version, the one where everything is predictable, controllable, stable, where there are no big risks or big rewards, where you're comfortable but not truly alive, where you survive but don't thrive, where you exist but don't live. And God is telling you that if you don't break out of this mediocre version of your life now, it will solidify around you like concrete, and eventually you'll no longer have the strength to break it. Taurus, I know your heart is racing right now. I know you're feeling that mix of fear and recognition. Fear, because you know I'm talking about your real life. Recognition, because a deep part of you already knew all of this, but was hoping no one would say it out loud so you could keep pretending you didn't. But the time has come to stop pretending. It's time to look squarely at the truth you've been avoiding. You're wasting your life on something that isn't your true destiny. And every day that passes is one less day you have to correct your course. And you're not alone. Thousands of Tauruses are watching this video right now and feeling exactly the same, carrying the same weight, struggling with the same fear of letting go of the safe to embrace the real. Leave a comment now saying, "I heard the warning and I'm ready to act." It's not just a comment, it's a statement of intent to the universe. It's you acknowledging that you've received the message and are committed to doing something about it. And when you write this, you're creating a chain of courage that will inspire other Tauruses to do the same. Your decision to honor the divine calling could be the catalyst someone needs to make their own decision. The reason this is the final warning isn't because God gives up on people. It's because there's a natural limit to how many times an opportunity can present itself before circumstances change, and it's no longer available. That dream job you've been eyeing but ignoring, someone else will take it. That person who could be your true companion. They'll move on with someone else. That place where you should be living, other people will put down roots there. Opportunities don't wait forever for anyone. They are offered, rejected, and then offered to others who are ready to receive them. And the most painful thing is that you will see these opportunities being lived by others. You will see other people having the courage you didn't have, building the life you also wanted but were afraid to achieve, the security you cherish so much, the one for which you've sacrificed your dreams, is an illusion. Nothing is truly secure. You can hold your stable job for years and be fired tomorrow. You can stay in a safe relationship that suffocates you and one day wake up next to a stranger. You can live in the same safe city for decades and feel out of place every day. The only real security comes from being aligned with your purpose, living authentically, and making choices that honor who you truly are. God isn't asking you to leap into the dark without any preparation. He's asking you to stop using preparation as a perpetual excuse to never take the first step. You'll never feel 100% ready. You'll never have all the guarantees your Taurian mind craves before making significant changes. There will never be a perfect, risk-free moment. The warning is for you to start now, with what you have, however you can, but start. The difference between the life you're living and the life you should be living lies in the daily micro-decisions you make. Every time you choose to stay instead of go. Every time you choose safety over meaning. Every time you choose what's expected over what's true. These small choices add up and build an entire existence you don't recognize as your own. But here's the hopeful part. just as these micro-decisions built the wrong life, new micro-decisions can begin to build the right life. You don't have to destroy everything at once, but you need to start. You need to take the first step, however small, toward the life you were meant to live. Taurus, the weight you carry isn't just the weight of the responsibilities you've taken on. It's the weight of unlived dreams, unused talents, and unrealized potential. It's the weight of knowing you're capable of so much more than you're doing, of feeling so much more than you're feeling, of being so much more than you're being. And this weight will only get heavier over time if you don't do something about it. This final warning carries within it both a promise and a warning. The promise is that if you act now, if you have the courage to make the necessary changes even when you're afraid, you will discover reserves of strength and resources you never knew you had. Doors will open, the right people will appear, opportunities will align. The universe conspires in favor of those who have the courage to follow their true calling. The warning is that if you ignore this warning, if you purposefully choose the illusion of security over truth once again, you will carry regret forever. And regret is a slow poison that contaminates every area of your life. It's the what-ifs that haunt you. It's the could-have-beens that haunt you. It's the should-have-tried that eats away at you from within. You've been seeing the signs for months, maybe years. Small things that seemed like coincidence, but were actually divine guidance. Conversations that made you think differently. Books that came to you at just the right time. People who showed you possibilities you hadn't considered. Situations that forced you to question whether you really want to continue on your current path. But you've rationalized every sign, found logical explanations, downplayed their importance. Because accepting that they're real signs would mean having to do something about them. And doing something about them would mean stepping out of your comfort zone, taking risks, and changing. And change scares you more than it should because you've confused stability with imprisonment. What God is showing you now is that there's a difference between putting down deep roots in fertile soil and burying yourself alive. You're a natural-born builder, someone who creates lasting structures. But you're using that gift to build a beautiful prison instead of a true palace. You're creating something solid and permanent that shouldn't exist in the first place. The last chance being offered now is the opportunity to redirect your ability to build, to use your legendary persistence, not to maintain what is wrong, but to create what is right, to apply your determination to pursuing the true life instead of defending the false. Taurus, you fear that if you move now, you'll lose everything you've built so far. But what you've built on faulty foundations needs to crumble so you can build on true ones. And everything that's truly yours, everything that truly matters, will survive the transition. In fact, it will flourish in ways it couldn't before. People who truly love you will support your pursuit of authenticity, even if they don't fully understand it at first. Opportunities that are truly meant for you will manifest when you're on the right path. The resources you need will appear when you demonstrate to the universe that you're serious about your calling. But none of this can happen as long as you insist on staying where you are, doing what you've always done, out of fear of the unknown. The unknown you fear so much may be frightening, but the familiar you're living is slowly killing you. It's better to be afraid for a few months during the transition than to live in silent despair for the next 30 years. This final warning is also an offer of partnership. God isn't asking you to do everything alone. He's offering guidance, support, and synchronicities that will show you the way step by step. But you need to take the first step. You need to show through action, not just thought, that you're ready to receive the help being offered. And when you take that first step, when you submit that resume to the field that truly interests you, when you have the difficult conversation about what you truly need in a relationship, when you start researching the move to the place that calls to you, when you finally admit out loud what your true dream is, something magical happens. The universe recognizes your courage and begins to move pieces you never even knew existed. Doors that were invisible become obvious. Connections that seemed impossible materialize. Resources you thought you lacked begin to appear. Not because you've suddenly become fortunate, but because you've finally aligned with the natural flow of your true life. And in that flow, everything moves with less resistance and more grace. Taurus, the version of you that lives true life already exists on some level. It has already made the courageous choices you're still contemplating. It has already experienced the freedom you're still longing for. And this future version of you is looking back at this very moment, at you now, hoping you have the courage to do what needs to be done. Because it knows, you know deep down, that life on the other side of courage is infinitely better than life on the side of illusory security. The warning is clear. The message has been delivered. God has knocked on your door for the last time, not to scare you, but to awaken you. To remind you that you have only one life, and that life is passing quickly, and there is no dress rehearsal. That is all. And if you don't live your true life now, during your own lifetime, when will you live? If this message struck a chord with you, if you felt every word resonate with truths you already knew but had buried, share your decision in the comments. You don't need to give details of what you'll change. Just declare that you've heard and will act. Because public declaration creates commitment, and public commitment creates accountability, and accountability keeps you on track when fear tries to pull you back. Subscribe to the channel, because your transformation process will require ongoing support. You'll have days of doubt where you'll need to be reminded why you started. Moments of fear where you'll need encouragement to keep going. Decision points where you'll need clarity about the next step. Turn on notifications so you don't miss guidance that can help you during your transition from a safe and wrong life to a courageous and right life. The warning has been given. The last chance has been offered. Now it's up to you. God has already done his part. The time has come for you to do yours.